up, Woodward. We are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up!
Y'all got Kool-Aid.
I'm fired up! But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener! Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm. Because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
Hey, I'm fired up! I'm fired up! Tigers to the ALDS! Let's go! Woo! Welcome to Wake Up Woodward. It's your boy, Brandon, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid. Oh, man, the Tigers. Flannel Sam, the vet of the squad right here. What a time, man. What a time.
What a time. And Mike G, I love what you put in the chat because you understand what I was trying to do. He says, the mojo changed. No offense, Flannel. When Nick took your spot at the watch party and Maz started to drop more F-bombs to Altuve. You think I didn't have that in mind when I left after the Astros took the lead? That was my master plan, guys. I needed to change that mojo. I did have somewhere to be, but sometimes I'm a very superstitious guy. It's actually kind of ruins my life sometimes. But that's neither here nor there because my life is fine today after the Tigers' victory.
Let's go.
You did it for the team.
Yes, did it for the team.
You wanted to do whatever it took for the Tigers to win, even if that meant leaving the watch party. I feel that, Sam. And I know all of the claims, the things you said throughout this Tiger season, it was just to motivate the players.
It's motivation.
It was to motivate A.J. Hinch.
Masterful job.
Oh, well.
Masterful job.
I mean, I feel kind of uncomfortable doing that because I like to just admit my wrongs and move on. But thank you, Broder. I know you're trying.
No,
I know
you
you're
did
trying.
this.
It was more than just Hinch, but there was a time where you got on Jake Rogers. The very next game, he had like a walk-off hit.
Oh, yeah.
You're the Tiger Whisperer.
Thank you.
Broder,
Good morning.
is Broder's mic on?
Yeah.
All right, let's rock. But good morning. That is Mr. Matthew Broder, decked out in the Tigers gear.
Just so you guys know, I was saying a lot of funny things in the last minute, so just laugh. Go Tigers. I was giving Flannel some credit for being a team player, leaving the watch party to help the Tigers win, adjusting the superstition, the juju in the room so that the Tigers could get a little energy. And what happened? Andy Ibanez happened.
Hey, you know what? I remember doing a couple Michigan games that happened, and big plays positively for Michigan happened. Hey, Detroit Tigers were benefactors last night of the Flannel Mojo. So I listen, thank you for your service.
Hey, and thank you for Nick as well because he
that energy.
Yeah, no, I mean he was the one who took my spot, and obviously that was the juju that was needed to get the Tigers over the top. I understand we're gonna give credit to AJ Hinch and the players and all of that, but like I said, I am superstitious to a fault most of the time. But I took the lumps of not being able to watch the win with the boys to just change the mojo in the room.
Yeah, you know what, man? It was epic. It was awesome to kind of be. That was the first Tigers watch party I was able to be at, and it was fun. It was electric. And honestly, that Ibanez one, we didn't know what was going on, man, at all. I didn't know whether to celebrate, whether to cry, and it truly is just baseball is a funny game, man. A game of truly inches. Pause.
Hey,
Tigers pause.
Oh yes, it was man. I can't say enough good things about that game, and we're gonna get into all the technicalities of it. But just before we get into all that, I have to give credit to this Tigers team. I know this is gonna sound a little hokey. I know this is gonna sound a little bit corny, but they didn't let Jackson Jobe drown. I know that Jackson Jobe got sent out there in a really, really tough situation, and he didn't pitch well. His defense didn't help him out. He gave up the lead, but you know what? Sean Gunther came in and induced a double play, and then the Tigers' offense helped him out in the top of the eighth so that Jackson Jobe didn't end up being the the GOAT of this game. So shout out to this Tigers team, the Gritty Tigers, man.
Hey, and you know what? Shout out to this booth this morning. We got intern Chase in the building. What's your first reaction to these Detroit Tigers heading to the ALDS?
Oh, man, I'm pumped up. I'm excited. I was looking forward to hopefully getting there as well. And, I mean, like Neil's been saying all week, with playing with house money, let's just make the most of it. Let's keep this rolling, and hopefully we can get to the ALCS.
Hey, what's your pep rally speech? Just give me something fired up real quick for the one shot.
You come back to me in a second.
Women's Sports MVP in the TD booth. That is JB SMOOV. And when you're done, you got cut right back to Chase, because he got me fired up with his pre-show promo, man.
I think he got all of us fired up pretty much.
Yeah.
Damn,
I need that energy, Chase.
I need that energy from you, Chase. But my God, just the feeling and the vibe around the city today is amazing. I'm telling you right now, everyone is on one. They are all excited. Tigers, you weren't supposed to be there. Like a couple months ago, we were talking about this like the season was over. Like we were just done, waiting until next year. But look what you did. They let you win the playoffs. They let you get hot. And you know what? The rest of the MLB should be scared right now. They should be scared.
Ooh, because who let the Tigers get hot? Chase. What up, though? What?
The Tigers are ready to pounce, baby. They're coming for you, Cleveland. We're coming for you. You can't guard these Tigers. You can't guard nothing.
Let's go.
That's all I got.
You know what? You know what? The first 5 seconds, epic promo.
Thank you,
The promo. We're good to go there. Hey, Chase. Oh, that's right. He's the one that clips it. Make sure you include that. Make sure you
Chase, clip that.
Do you know what that honestly sounded like? It sounded like that old Howard Dean speech. You remember that one? We're going to Oklahoma. We're going to Michigan. And then we're going to take over the White House.
I don't know who Howard Dean is.
I don't know. Chase, that was a little before your time.
You did that pretty well, too.
We're a little older. Chase, you got to look that up.
That's why we
I'll
need
check it out when I get
JB.
home.
That's why we need Saturday Night Vibes.
That's definitely
That's
why we
literally
need
what
Saturday
this
Night
is
Vibes,
for.
so we can get these old school memories back. That's so everyone knows about them. But my God,
Let's go, man. Let's go. Mr. Matthew Brown, it probably goes without saying, but would you like to tell the people what we are discussing today?
Sure. We're talking Tigers. Next segment, we're going to talk Tigers. We're going to talk about the bats. The third segment, we're going to talk about the Tigers, their arms. The fourth segment, we're going to talk about the Tigers, too. Going to the ALDS, a little look ahead against the Guardians. Then at 9 o'clock, we are going to transition to a little bit of football. Not top 10 Tuesday. We're moving it to top 10 Thursday. We got our Week 5 power rankings that Flannel and I are going to go off on. And then a little ranking for QBs around the NFL. I would say Jared Goff might be getting some disrespect again. And you know, with 2 shows to go, I got to have a Jared Goff topic. So that's what we're going to do.
Go off, King. Go off, King.
Yeah. Hey.
And with all this Tigers on the docket, Flannel, they must have did something special, man.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
did they?
They must have did something special.
Can I start before we talk about the game?
Yeah.
Do you guys know what the total payroll of this 26-man roster is for the Tigers?
I know it's not a lot, but you're going to have to tell me.
$18.8 million. Right?
Yeah. Do you know how much Josh Hader, the Astros closer, the left-handed closer who gave up the double/triple to Andy Ibanez, you know how much he makes per year?
$19 million.
Bingo.
Sheesh.
Josh Hader makes more than this entire Tigers 26-man roster. Also, Andy Ibanez makes $766K a year.
Well, and that's the most amazing thing.
crazy,
Only
dog.
to give up a bases-clearing double to Andy Ibanez. Isn't that just great, though? And the funny thing is, I was actually sent that by our very own Ryan Lentz in the back yesterday, and he says, is this real? And I had to verify it. I'm like, wait a minute, is this real? It 100% is, because when you think of who the highest-paid Tigers are and were starting the season, Javi Baez, Kenta Maeda, Jack Flaherty, Shelby Miller, Mark Canha, what do they all have in common? Not on the wild card playoff roster. It's just the highest paid player on the wild card roster is Colt Keith. Seriously.
That's crazy.
That's absolutely amazing.
And he just got paid this offseason.
He just got paid. So that sounds to me like the dictionary definition of Moneyball. And Josh Hader is not the only highly paid player on the Houston Astros. That is that's how you do it. That's how you're able to win series against the, I get it. It's kind of an unfair game, as they say, but that's how you even the odds right there.
Hey,
Play
you
the
know
game
what?
the right way.
It's awesome, man. AJ Hinch just looks like a manager that is in command and in control.
Yeah.
And they kept cutting to him, and I kept making a remark that he just looks so unimpressed. So unimpressed. Hunter Brown, tip of the cap to you, brother. Bigger tip of the cap to my man Parker Meadows as well.
Oh, yes.
What a big home run by Parker Meadows, man. That moment right there, because you knew that they were going to need some runs with the way that they were piecing together this bullpen. And he pulled out some bullpen wizardry, which we'll talk about. But, man, what a big hit by Parker Meadows, who's just been absolutely on one since going down to Toledo. I don't know what they got going on down there, but it really, I'm really appreciative of the fact that Broder, when you covered Fetter and some of the changes that, Chris Harris and those that were brought, Scott Harris brought to this organization, you said that these were things that were going to have ripple effects all the way down to the minors. But then sometimes it takes a little bit of time to see those positive effects work their way back up to the majors. What a time, because now we're seeing kind of those effects right now. They figured out some of these young players and are getting the benefits right now heading to the ALDS based off of these young players getting it right.
Yeah, I mean, Parker Meadows was the MVP of the last 2 months for the Tigers, at least when it comes to positional players, and he hits that big home run. And as Broder, you put in the prep, Hunter Brown pitched a hell of a game.
We got to give him some love.
And he's a Detroit native as well. He's somebody who...
Wayne State.
I will say this. I thought that the Astros made a mistake by burning the chance to start Ronel Blanco in Game 2. However, it worked. That should have been enough to win the game. But when you got the Tigers bullpen going on the other side and they're clicking on all cylinders, it just wasn't. And you know what? You just hate to see it, right?
Yeah, 5.2 innings pitched. He gave up 2 hits. 2 hits only, and one was the Parker Meadows home run. 2 walks, 9 Ks. He really did dominate the Tigers hitters. I mean, they made it tough at some points, but he was using his 4-seam fastball and his 2-seam fastball or sinker and just keeping them off balance, pounding the strike zone. So I just think it's important we give him credit. He is a Michigan native, like Flannel said, Wayne State Baseball University alum, Lakeview High School from St. Clair Shores. Props to Hunter Brown. They didn't lose because of him.
No, and that's the reason why, Flannel, we were sitting here on the watch party saying, the only thing we can do is get him out the game. And we weren't going to do that by hitting because he was absolutely on his stuff. So as he continued to deal, we were hoping that the Tigers batters will get a little bit more patient, have a little bit better plate discipline, and have a chance to try and get him out of the game just a little bit earlier so they have more opportunities to make something happen against the bullpen rather than Hunter Brown, who was absolutely, like you said, dominating this Tigers lineup, man. And they did. They got to that bullpen, and they found a little bit of Tigers magic, man.
And they got to Josh Hader. You love to see it because he's been one of the better bullpen pitchers in Major League Baseball for the better part of a decade. However, this year, his numbers took a little bit of a dip, and he's all of a sudden became a bit vulnerable. And Andy Ibanez, he found a pitch to his liking, and he is now a Detroit Tigers hero, and you love to see it.
A 98-mile-an-hour sinker that he decided to hit for a double, clear the bases. This is A.J. Hinch pinch hitting for McKinstry, putting Ibanez in. We know Ibanez hasn't been, on fire these last couple weeks, but Hinch has continued to go to him, continue to have faith. That faith paid off right here. A pinch hit double, then he takes third. A pinch hit double that clears the bases. They won how they've won every game for these last 2 months. That's why there's no limit to how far this Tigers team can go. No limit.
That's why before the playoffs started, it was just like, man, you want to pay respects to our opponents, but I do want to pay respects to the fact that, since August 11th, the Tigers have been 33-13. I see the 3-3 in there as well.
Something like that.
And it's that is absolutely insane to me. That has to matter for something. This is more than just a hot streak. They figured something out. They've become one of the best teams in baseball. And I believe that this first series proves that. Obviously, it's a much bigger test against the Guardians. But I am a lot more confident in what this Tigers team can do because A.J. Hinch is pulling all the right strings. The bats have continued to kind of not just get, situational hitting, but to be able to give Scooble those 3 runs in that first game, to me, that's run support for him. Ample run support. And then when you're looking at what you can get out of Scooble once or twice in a series, they're going to have a great opportunity in this playoffs, man, in this ALDS.
Oh, they absolutely are. And more on the bats, more on the arms, more on that matchup with the Cleveland Guardians in the upcoming segments. But first, I have to tell you about Planet Fitness. Fitness that fits your budget. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, friendly, knowledgeable staff, and a totally judgment-free atmosphere. Did you know that all Planet Fitness memberships include fitness training for no extra cost? Want all the perks? Upgrade to the PF Black Card and enjoy use of amenities such as unlimited use of the Black Card Spa featuring hydro massage, massage chairs, and total body enhancement, and more, along with access to over 2,500 locations worldwide and unlimited guest privileges. For more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness or planetfitness.com.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around. Who's got it better than pets?
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
To prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness, we're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
Dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, or other family law issues, Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham will have your back. With 10 plus years of experience and 24/7 availability, scan the QR code on the screen or call 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you and KDK will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they've got your back.
Listen, when we started this series, everybody said we weren't playoff tested. We just passed the biggest test of the year to date, but there's more coming. Okay? Never know. Get it going. Hey, listen, hold on. Listen, I'm not sure who, but somebody let the Tigers get hot.
Woo! Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys for choosing to kick off the day with the WUW Crew. And you know what? What a beautiful start to the morning. As I was driving into the studio, that beautiful tiger orange sun was just rising above us. So it's just so poetic, man, here in Detroit. It's your boy Brandon Day, aka Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporting writer for the network. We got the vet of the squad right here, Flannel Sam, Mr. Matthew Broder, just a GOAT all around. What up, though, brother? Hey, you know what? We got Detroit's #1 draft pick, Mr. KG in the building. Black Hollywood.
You know it, man. What's up?
Tigers is what's up.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm a little gassed, bro. I'm glad we get a break because from the Monday night game to the two Tigers playoff games, I slept like a baby last night. Like ridiculous, bro. Like it's so amazing to think that they are really in the divisional series, bro. Like I have no words.
You know what? I feel that, bro. Last night was one of those nights where it was just like, whoa. Nothing to do. Like, I think I stayed up a little bit longer thinking, like, no, there's got to be something to do. But we get a little bit of a break. Shout out to Woodward Sports' MVP in the TD booth. That is JB SMOOV. What up, though?
Hey, nothing much. Hey, like KG said, like, we all can relax right now.
Yes.
We all can just chill and breathe for a second. Like,
man,
I have no more energy to give to these teams right now. I don't.
Just need a day, right?
On that one.
Yeah, I just need a day, man.
We got Pistons practice right after this. Shout out to intern Chase and that dude Justin. But we got to get back into these Detroit Tigers, man. And honestly, just the wizardry that is A.J. Hinch. We know about Tarek Skubal, and then it's just everybody else. And A.J. Hinch knows exactly the right buttons to push, apparently, Flannel Sam.
Oh,
what did you think of what A.J. Hinch did with this bullpen last night? Or yesterday.
Yesterday. Here's where I kind of lie on this. AJ Hinch, I think he did a really good job at playing the matchups in a couple of certain situations. I mean, that's one of the reasons you start Tyler Holton, for example, is that you want a nice 1-2-3 inning to get the game started against Kyle Tucker and Yordan Alvarez, and that's exactly what happened. He put in Brant Herter in the third to face Tucker and to face Alvarez, and he got out of that inning. And then in the seventh, after Jackson Jobe had given up the lead, thanks in part to the defense as well, who did he bring in to induce the inning-ending double play on Kyle Tucker? None other than my man Sean Gunther. So AJ Hinch, like he's done oftentimes throughout the season, particularly from the last couple of months, he has played the matchups perfectly. He has won many games. He has helped them win many games on these bullpen days. But I will say this. I got to give the bullpen some credit. I think right now, and I'm not saying any of us in this room do it, we need to put to bed the narrative that, like, oh my goodness, they're winning games with nobodies. Brennan Hanafy, Sean Gunther. Here's the reality of the situation.
Tell us.
In the past couple of months, they have been some of the best bullpen arms in Major League Baseball. They're not just some guys off the street who came in and are, Feder and Hinch are working miracles with. I mean, they are in some ways, but we got to put some respect on those guys. I mean, Brant Herter as well. Obviously, people have respect for Tyler Holton and, like, Will Vest, but these are really good Major League Baseball pitchers. You don't go on a stretch like Sean Gunther has been on and not be really good and talented. You don't go on a stretch like Brant Herter and Brennan Hanafy have been on and not be really good and talented. You don't go on a stretch that Bro Brisky has been on and not be really good and talented. So yes, AJ Hinch deserves a ton of credit for playing the matchups. Chris Feder deserves a ton of credit for getting the most out of these guys, many of whom struggled in AAA. But man, the Tigers have a lot of really good arms in that bullpen, and they showed out yesterday. They won a game on a bullpen day, on a game in which their counterpart, Hunter Brown, dominated. You just love to see it.
You love to see it. You know what, brother? Obviously, we need your take on this pitching, but it was awesome to see Chris Feder make his way out to the mound a couple times to talk to his guys. It just, Spinny brought it up on the show yesterday. He believes he's the best assistant coach in sports. I know that we pondered before they went on their run, because you were telling us early, Feder is a difference maker, and we pondered, is he the Tigers' Ben Johnson? And then we got to the point where we all said yes. And now it's looking like this guy might be one of the best assistant coaches in all of sports, bro.
Yeah, I can't deny that at all. He's up there. He's definitely the most valuable assistant coach for this team. It's a perfect fit with Hinch and with what they're trying to do. They just play so well off each other. And you see him go out to the mound, you assume, you bank on that pitcher calming down and executing whatever Feder just talked to him about, whatever his next pitch would be. AJ Hinch is playing these matchups, and even when some of these guys don't have their best stuff when they come in, they do what it takes. They know their role, and they feel like, all right, if AJ Hinch and Feder are putting me in this situation, whether it's the ALDS or whether it's against the White Sox in July, it doesn't matter. They think I'm the best on this roster to take care of the batter in front of me. 3 of them yesterday induced huge ground ball double plays. We're talking Herter came in the bottom of the 4th, got Caratini, or he hit the previous batter, Caratini, was a little off, put runners on first and second. Then he got Jeremy Pena out on a sinker, a ground out to Sweeney at shortstop. Bottom of the 6th, Bull Brisky comes in. He walks Yordan Alvarez on 4 pitches, but then gets Bregman to line out to Riley Green in the second pitch of the at-bat. So 6 pitches in the inning at that point, and then he induces a ground ball double play on the second pitch to Yainer Diaz. So an 8-pitch inning, he gets a ground ball double play to get out. That's a momentum killer. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to talk about Jackson Jobe here in 1 second. He struggled, but Gunther came into the game and did exactly the one thing you need him to do. Get a double play and get out of this inning quick. He did it. He replaced Jobe, induced a double play ball with a 2-seamer, ground ball to Colt Keith. Sweeney to Torque, gets out of the inning with the score still 2-1. He kept that game close, and his bats picked him up in the top of the next inning. It was like clockwork. It was magical. It was so great to see.
It was so great to see. And just with Jackson Jobe, I just wanted to ask, what are the positive takeaways from his time on the mound last night?
He got that out of the way. He He actually didn't look nervous going into the game, but once he started pitching, he didn't really have command. What did he end up with? 5 batters faced, 1 out, 2 runs, 1 earned run. It was ugly. There's no way around it, but he got it out of the way, and he got it out of the way in a win.
Yeah.
So now the next time he goes in, he knows he doesn't have to be perfect. He knows that his team has his back, and as a pitcher, that's the number one thing you could ask for. All right, I don't have to be perfect today. My team's got my back. I don't have to be perfect. I just got to get a double play on the next pitch. It feels so good as a pitcher. He'll learn,
right?
And he's gonna come in a big situation against Cleveland and make a big out for us. It's huge.
Yeah, and I saw a lot of fans.
That's one, Chase.
Yeah, and I saw a lot of fans questioning this move, on socials and things of that nature. And I thought that Scott Bentley from Locked On Tigers brought up a great point. If you really look at the pitches, they were all weak contact type of pitches. It wasn't like he went out there and got absolutely rocked. Was it good? No. Was the location good? Absolutely not. But he didn't go out there and get completely rocked. It was just a little bit of bad luck. We talking about a blooper. We talking about a fielder's choice. These things just kind of happen. But the reason he was put out there in that spot is because the type of stuff that he has pitching wise. He can throw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. He has a nasty cutter. He has things that, putting him in that spot, although he didn't have that much experience, I wasn't necessarily mad at. And you're going to see more of Jackson Jobe going forward. Hopefully this was a learning experience. You can't come out and beam the first guy that you face. I think he knows that more than any one of us, needs to tell him. But just bear with the kid. He'll be fine.
And let's be honest too. Yeah, Jackson Jobe shouldn't have hit the leadoff batter. Gets your inning off to a bad start. But we also have to remember that Jackson Jobe induced the ground ball. That should have been the first out of the inning, that force out at home plate in which Spencer Torkelson kind of skipped and then Jake Rogers dropped. It should have still been 1-0, and then you don't know what happens with the rest of the inning.
Good point.
Because, he got out Altuve next. We don't know if it was going to be the same, but still. And then Gunther probably comes in to face Tucker and Alvarez anyway, so Jackson Jobe, he did what he had to do, at least in the first step of getting out of the jam. It's just his defense let him down. But the best part is the defense let him down a bit, but then the offense picked him right back up. I would have hated to see Jackson Jobe's first postseason experience to be a loss.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
It was a blown save.
That's what
it was a blown save.
Essentially.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
No, that's all right, though. And one other thing about this pitching staff yesterday. What's the key to getting through this Astros lineup? Who do you not want to let beat you? They're 1 through 4. Do you know what their 1 through 4 went last night? Altuve, Tucker, Alvarez, and Bregman. 1 for 13.
Wow.
1 for 13. And to kind of further the whole discussion on the bottom of the 7th, when you give up a lead that late in the game, especially in a game where your offense really just doesn't seem to have it, it can be pretty demoralizing. When it was 2-1, I obviously left the watch party to change the juju a little bit, which we talked about earlier.
I wonder where you went. I'm like, Sam's missing.
Yeah, I had to change the juju a little bit. And the reason why I didn't say bye to you on the way out is because you were on the phone.
No, you all good. You all good.
No, but what happened is that you're down 2-1. You have Kyle Tucker coming up for the Astros, first and third, 1 out. That can quickly spiral into a big inning for the Astros because you got Kyle Tucker. If he gets on, you got Alvarez coming up. But Sean Gunther, man, one of the MVPs of this run that the Tigers had, induces that big double play. 1 of 3, as Broder said, that the Tigers pitching staff was able to induce. Man, whether it's Skubal, whether it's the bullpen days, you just love to see it because in those 2 games combined, the Astros scored a grand total of 3 runs.
Wow.
The formidable Astros, Yordan Alvarez, Alex Bregman, Jose Altuve, Kyle Tucker, 3 runs in 2 games.
That's
now,
masterful.
In the most diametrically opposite ways in which you can approach a game. Ace, bullpen day. Doesn't matter.
One last quick note on Jackson Jobe. Actually, 2 scenarios. I think it will transition nicely to talking about the bats in the next segment. But one thing that the Astros did in that inning when things were starting to go crazy, they put pressure on a young pitcher by bunting. It ended up being a bunt single. It was a pretty damn good bunt. But that put pressure on Jackson Jobe. That doesn't help anything. You fast forward to Parker Meadows. In his situation, it was in the 9th inning, right? Top of the 9th. They're trying to extend the lead to 4 so that 1 hit at the very least ties the game. A grand slam ties the game. I don't know what Parker Meadows was doing button to third. I don't know if that was something A.J. Hinch told him to do or what. That's got to go to first base. Bregman was halfway up the line. I don't understand. I like the situation there to bunt, especially with Meadows, who has the speed to get to first. He bunted it to the one person you can't. He got the lead runner, and it didn't make any sense. So, right situation, bad execution out of Parker Meadows.
Very on brand, brother.
You're right.
I had to.
Hey, it's all right. It's all right.
There's no place for bunts in this game.
You see, in that situation, even A.J. Hinch thought, we got to scratch across one more run, not two. Remember, bunting a guy bunting a guy into scoring position, it raises your percentage of scoring one run, lowers your percentage of scoring more than one run, but you're just trying to scratch across one. Good situation, bad execution.
Yeah, definitely. And Da Vinci Broder, once again, I like the way that you broke it down, and you got to paint the picture the appropriate way, especially if you might be somebody whose words are taken out of context or cut up a certain type of way.
Oh, yeah, all the time. All the time. Neil will just pull and pick and pull, whatever he wants. But, hey, Tigers won. We got to talk about these bats because there was a lot of fireworks in the eighth, but I was impressed with this lineup and what they did yesterday. Yeah. I want to talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
That is fair. And speaking of someone whose words are taken out of context by Neil Rule all the time, Flannel Sam with your next ad read. We're going to talk about the Lions game day experience, and it starts with Woodward and Maine. Hey, Detroit, on game day, wake up with Woodward and Maine, your source for all the insider information on the defending NFC North champions, your Detroit Lions. With insight from Detroit sports media legend Terry Foster and rising star Matt Broder. Get ready, Detroit, every Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. Woodward and Maine, brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Tall Your Local Long Drink, Sabbath Coffee, and Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. And speaking of that man, Neil Rule, look at those guys. Neil Rule, Sean Belegian, who does not want to learn about the Lions and watch those trustworthy men? It's the New Holland Brewing Company pregame show. Every game day, Neil Rule and Sean Belegian bring you the best Lions pregame show. Sunday, 10 a.m. to noon on Woodward Sports. Live at Second Best Bar in Detroit. Latest injury reports, fantasy sit and starts, and the inside scoop on your Detroit Lions. Join us for every Sunday home games live at Second Best Bar in Detroit, your official guide to Lions game day on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports, brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Tall Your Local Long Drink, Sabbath Coffee, and Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
New Holland. Let me tell you about the Tangerine Space Machine, the easy drinking IPA that is out of this world. Smooth and juicy with refreshing crushability. Take your taste buds to the moon with Tangerine Space Machine. Grab yourself a can today of this intergalactic haze of goodness. I don't know if you guys knew this, but this is the official beer of outer space. They know about this on the moon right now. So go ahead and grab yourself a can right now. Brewed by New Holland Brewing Company, straight out of Holland, Michigan, so you can support locally.
Hey, you know what? Fuel your Lions fandom with that perfect cup and become a subscriber of Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Whether you're gearing up for a big game or savoring a quiet morning or getting ready to cheer on those Detroit Tigers in the ALDS, Sabbath Coffee Roasters has you covered with fresh, locally roasted specialty coffee delivered right to your door. Head to www.sabbathcoffeeroasters.com. Choose your favorite roast. Use code Woodward to get 25% off your first subscription order. Awaken and wine. Support local and enjoy game day right with Sabbath Coffee Roasters. And we are back. Man, it feels good to say that on this beautiful Tigers Thursday morning. It is Wake Up Woodward, and we appreciate you guys for choosing to kick off your day with the WUW Crew. If you guys would be so kind, please go on ahead and smash that like button. And we got to talk about these bats. What up, though, brother?
You know, we've had 4 straight victory shows.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the Lions didn't even play on Sunday.
Yep.
4 straight victory shows.
It's crazy.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I just had to point that out.
This is why I'm tapped
you
out.
were talking about it. I was like, wait. Monday, Tuesday,
Yeah, we've had so many victory shows.
I'm like Big Musket over here, man. I ain't got another one in me. I don't.
I swear,
Shout out off days.
sometimes we wish we could have the magic wand that AJ Hinch does and just make everything work the way we want to. If it has to go this way, I'm at least glad it's that our Tigers and our Lions have just been giving us these great experiences and Michigan National Championship. It's been epic to cover these things, man. It's been epic to cover.
Yeah, it certainly is, but I'm kind of with KG on this one. A well-timed bye week, a well-timed a couple of days off from the Tigers between the wild card and the ALDS so that I don't burn myself out a little bit. But you know, that's neither here nor there. Nobody cares about that. We just want to celebrate the Tigers.
Let's go. You know what? We gotta celebrate what the Tigers did. Let me see here.
Talk
with
Tigers,
the bats,
bitch.
baby. With the bats. No Tiger had more than one hit yesterday, but all 11 Tigers who got up to the dish got on base.
Yep. Even the pinch hitters, I mean.
Yeah, they both had pinch hits, including the Andy Ibanez double that scored 3. And the guys that didn't get a hit, hang on, where are my notes? The guys that didn't give a hit, it was 7 different players had one hit. Riley Green, Colt Keith, Spencer Torkelson, and Trey Sweeney are the only ones without a hit. But Riley Green had 1 walk.
I was about to say, talk about it.
Yeah, it was a 6-pitch walk that got Hunter Brown yanked from the game, the very next batter. Colt Keith had 2 walks on the game, including one in the 8th inning before Andy Ibanez's double. He got Ryan Presley yanked from that game, and then Torkelson also had 1 walk. Guess when? In the 8th inning before Ibanez's double. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Sweeney drew a walk on Hunter Brown, too. Yep. It didn't lead to anything, but it gets the pitch count up. The 3 guys who didn't get hits found a way to make an impact offensively in the batter's box. That's this team in a nutshell.
Yeah, and you know what? If you go back and listen to the watch party, it was what we were talking about. Get that pitch count up. And you know what? The Tigers did a great job at doing something that Flannel, you started to track and trend. Hey, look at these guys' on-base percentage, and look at their plate discipline getting much better. And so regardless if you're getting hits or not, their plate discipline, their ability to foul and take hacks and all that, we were talking about the KG, their ability to get some walks and get on base, that to me played a big part in this game.
Are my eyes deceiving me, or does Colt Keith have 4 walks in 2 games?
No, your eyes don't deceive you.
That is sexy.
Talk about plate discipline.
No, and obviously the main blow of the game was Andy Ibanez, and I'm going to give a ton of credit to him in a second. But Colt Keith and Spencer Torkelson both getting on base with walks to load the bases, it's unbelievable. These are 2 guys who, honestly, that was my biggest gripe with both of them. I understood that Colt Keith was a rookie and that he'd get better, but he has. His plate discipline has massively improved as the season goes on. And Spencer Torkelson, he's got 3 walks in this series. That was my biggest gripe with him, even when he hit 30 home runs last year. That was my biggest gripe with him this year. Just does not have the right approach, does not get on base enough. So isn't it ironic that both of them get on base via walks in order to set up Andy Ibanez's bases clearing double? You love to see it. You love to see guys step up in a big spot, and you love to see them improving right before your eyes.
Yeah, I love it, man. And just this team, seeing them win the ways that we said if they're going to have success this season, it's going to be because of what AJ Hinch does to manage his bullpen, and then how the Tigers get the situational and the big hits. And so it's like to see them winning this way, it's not anything foreign. That looked exactly the way that they looked during the regular season. And, you know, I see people in the chat that are wondering, like Philippines on Demand, can they string this together? Can they keep this up over a long series? And he's specifically talking about the pitching staff and kind of the patchwork that AJ Hinch is doing. That's what they've done all season. Like, this is kind of, if you're going to win this way, you got to have AJ Hinch at the helm to make it happen. Like, they're kind of designed for this. Is it going to hold up? I think they've given themselves a great opportunity to do it by being one of the best teams in baseball the last 2 years and improving at the plate discipline-wise. That means that your best pitcher on the other team now is dealing with a little bit different Tigers lineup. So even if the batting average isn't there, they may run your pitch count up just a little bit more.
I'll tell you what, more on why they absolutely can, at least in this next series, in just a couple of minutes. KG, looks like you got something over
No,
there.
I was just listening. That's all.
All right, cool, man. So I want you to listen to me talk about Andy Ibanez, first of all.
Yes, sir.
Because we got to...
Shout out Neil.
We got to give this man some credit. And you know what's funny when it comes to Andy Ibanez? People are going to obviously go at me and say, Flannel hates role players, so he probably hates it was Andy Ibanez. But let the record also show that I was advocating for him to get more at-bats at parts during this season. So when it comes to Andy Ibanez, I believed in him before any... I'm not going to do that. But seriously, that's what he's here to do. He's here to hit lefties. And shout out to the Astros manager kind of... I don't know, outsmarting himself a bit. I understand he put Hader in to face Spencer Torkelson at first and he walked him, but I think it was he was mindful of the fact that, all right, Hader against Zach McKinstry, I kind of like that matchup. And I don't blame him for thinking that. But you know what? Here's a nice big dose of Andy Ibanez, somebody who doesn't do much well on the baseball field, but the man, even throughout his season where he struggled at the end, can hit the hell out of left-handed pitching. And now, Andy Ibanez is a folk hero in Detroit sports. This is their first playoff win since 2013, and Andy Ibanez got the game-winning, bases-clearing double. And that's another reason why baseball is just, in some ways it's the best, and in some ways it's the worst. You can have a series in which your two best hitters, Riley Green and Kerry Carpenter, were actually probably two of your weakest hitters, and Andy freaking Ibanez gets the biggest hit of the series. But that's not uncommon in baseball playoffs. Sometimes it's the guys you least expect that step up, and that was the case with Andy Ibanez.
Yep. Yeah, and you know what, man? That play, it was so electric in the moment, especially being here for the watch party. I just keep thinking, like, if I was in the back cave just doing, like, the clips, it wouldn't have hit the same, man. Being here with everybody and just kind of going through, is it fair? Is it foul? Being upset with the freaking camera angles. We couldn't even see where the ball freaking landed. They showed us like 3 different angles of the play, and none of them showed where the ball landed. Does anybody have a replay that shows where the ball actually hits?
We still don't know.
I promise you, I have not seen it. I was like, you know what? I know it's not chin music, but that has just been like irking me. I still have not seen that play. If somebody has it, Dante151, I know you're good for this sometimes. If you find it, please tag us in it, man, because I haven't seen where the ball has landed.
If the ump said it's fair, I'm going to call it fair. So, oh my God.
But yeah, it was epic to be a part of that, man, and just the energy, seeing them on the bases. Ibanez is kind of going through his celebrations and knowing at that point in time, this game is over. Like, I felt it right then and there. This is over. You can start to feel the celebration build up, but you knew go in there and handle your business, and they did that, man.
Yeah, and honestly, I was kind of feeling that too. I was on the way home listening to Dan Dickerson and all that, and I almost crashed my car.
It's over.
Thankfully, I didn't, but it would have been well worth it. And shout out to, I got to give another credit to a certain player, because I know we're kind of on the bats now and not on the pitchers, but speaking of the game being over, one of the reasons why I felt that way is because you had Sean Gunther going in the bottom of the 8th and you had Will Vest going in the bottom of the 9th. And Will Vest...
He's an animal, bro.
That's the best I've ever seen him pitch in this series. He had that dominant inning in 2/3 in game 1, and then in the bottom of the 9th, 7 pitches, 3 outs. The Astros are done. Finito.
Yep. Yeah, one of them strikeouts, man, he just kind of turned and just walked like he knew it. Like he was on this Steph Curry. But Goodness gracious, let's get into this next segment right away because we got Tigers and the Jungle Cats to talk about as well a little bit. But let me tell you about something awesome. The Detroit Tigers in the ALDS, as well as you can walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today, open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy a $20 haircut special, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Just scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. It's wicked awesome.
And after you get that haircut, you know you got to drop some money on Caesars Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of us here at Woodward Sports. Scan that QR code on the screen right now. Use code Woodward1000 and you can deposit up to $1,000 and place a minimum of $20 bet, and they will get that right back into your account if your bet does not hit. I'm telling you, I'm not crazy about this. Scan the QR code on the screen. Use code Woodward1000 and make some money this weekend.
To prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness, we're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine Centers. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy and every Thursday on Ermanni and Edwards, where he's offering you top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy at DMAC Trust. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.
I got this cousin Marcus who saw one. He said it blew his mind. I want to make sure I never, ever miss out on Haley's comment. So, if you guys know if there's going to be one...
What up, though, people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward, man. Yo, as Broder told you guys, 4 victory shows in a row.
Yeah.
That's epic, man. The energy. Whew, man. Detroit, October in the D is here thanks to these Detroit Tigers. And now they're giving us an opportunity to be able to see multiple teams in action all in the same week, which is going to be pretty dope, man, including our Tigers.
Yeah. Do we really realize what they just did? I don't know if y'all brought this up at the beginning of the show, but the Astros went to 6 consecutive ALCSs, and we just stopped them from reaching a 7th with one pitcher. Like, it's crazy to think about right now, man.
KG, they've won 47 straight games that they've won when leading after 8 innings, too.
Wow. So you're telling me that the Detroit Tigers are now becoming like the Lions? They're narrative busters.
Yeah.
Narrative buster. Like, man, that's I didn't know that. That's pretty awesome. The last time we saw something like that, the Pistons 6 straight Eastern Conference Finals comes to an end to that horrible bad person, LeBron James.
Yeah.
But
horrible bad person, LeBron James.
You guys know we're getting a home playoff game at Comerica Park.
Wednesday.
Yeah, October in the D, man. I can't wait.
It's the DS now, so it's more games. So yeah, you get a home game.
Yep, and you know what? Get to Woodward Sports socials, whether that's on X, Instagram, or both. Get your entry in right now. We do have a couple tickets that we are giving away right now for that playoff game in Detroit. you guys want to make sure that you take part in this thing. It's blowing up right now, and who wouldn't want to? And if not, I know we're gonna have some type of watch parties going down, or find yourself just somewhere around that stadium, man. It's epic environment. It's electric.
Wednesday gonna be
and
nuts.
That's what I'm saying. Just find yourself somewhere in the city. It's gonna be dope. I cannot wait, man. Detroit Tigers baseball and chat family. I hope y'all are fired up as well. Go ahead and smash that like button. But you know what? We haven't done this in a while. Go ahead and satisfy that like button.
Wait, what?
Treat it right.
Hold on.
Treat it nice, man.
Oh.
Treat it the way the Tigers.
Oh man, I know you feeling good off that Tigers victory, man. We all are, man. We all a little hot right now. So just go ahead and caress that like button real nice and real slow, man. We appreciate you.
Man, Tigers took my voice screaming yesterday.
Yeah, I'm drinking tea trying to get my shit back.
I don't care. I'm fired up, man. Detroit Tigers, we got to talk about it. Heading to the ALDS to face the vaunted Guardians of Ohio.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird because on paper doesn't always matter. But that's the only thing I can go off of right now. So if I'm the Detroit Tigers, here's where the Cleveland Guardians are maybe more beatable and where they can cause trouble. One of the most interesting things about them is the Guardians are actually last in the American League in quality starts, which is crazy considering that they had the second best record in the American League. The reason they're able to do that, though, is they have the best bullpen ERA in all of baseball. What that tells me is that the Tigers need to get runs early, need to get those starters out of the game and do damage, because if you get to the 6th or the 7th and you're down, I'm not saying you're screwed because anything can happen, but odds are you're probably going to take that L, and you better not go to the 9th with a deficit, because Emmanuel Clase, I know we say what we say about him when Cleveland fans are like, oh, Clase should be Cy Young. We know it should be Skubal, but if you want me to be honest, if the roles were reversed and Clase was on the Tigers and Skubal was on the Guardians, I'd probably be caping up for Clase to win Cy Young too. That is how good he has been. That is how dominant he has been. So you don't want to go to the 9th trailing, even if it's just by 1 run. On the other hand, when you look at Cleveland's lineup, you got to deal with that man, Jose Ramirez, who is one of the biggest Tiger killers in all of Major League Baseball, certainly in my time as a Tigers fan, in his career. A 966 OPS against the Tigers, and in 155 games, 33 home runs, 122 RBIs. You almost have to bank in that he's probably going to do some damage in this series because he always does against the Tigers. And they got Naylor, they've got Kwan, and they've got David Fry. All 4 of those guys were all-stars. However, in some way, they're kind of like the Astros, where they're very top-heavy because the rest of their lineup is pretty damn pitchable. You got Andres Jimenez, Brian Rocchio, Bo Naylor, Will Brennan, and Tyler Freeman. Those guys strike absolutely no fear in me. None whatsoever. On paper, they're not good. However, the funny thing about on paper is that's what Astros fans were probably saying about Jake Rogers. If I was an Astros fan, I would have said that about Jake Rogers. We're not going to let this bum beat us. He's going to go 0-for, and that didn't happen. So I don't want the Tigers to take those guys as lightly as I just did, because anybody can beat you if they're on a playoff roster. And I think with Cleveland, the X factors, you got a couple of young power hitters who came up in this organization, came in mid-season, John Kensey Noel and Kyle Manzardo. I don't know if Noel's even going to be on the ALDS roster, but those are guys who have had some struggles, especially with average, but they can hit the ball a long way. And Kyle Manzardo was a very, very high-ranked prospect in MLB and in the Cleveland Guardians organization. But all that being said, I think the Tigers absolutely have the formula to take the Guardians down. 100%. As long as they get to the starters.
Yeah, and that gets me fired up, man, for this series ahead, because I know that as fans we say things like, especially when our teams overachieve, let's just get there and then, hey, we've made it. This has been a fun season.
Yeah.
The competitor in us and the part of us that absolutely loves these teams, though, want to see our squad do as good as they can do, especially when it's against teams from that team down south, man. Beat the Guardians. Just beat them. They've been obviously a rival for a long time. Who wants to start summer that way? And if you lose to them, at least we know that is with this team doing everything they could to pull out a victory, man.
Absolutely. And the Shaquille Oatmeal in the chat. None of that matters, Flannel. These are the gritty Tigers. Well, that's all I have right now.
Yeah.
And I promise you that the Tigers, the players, the coaching staff, AJ Hinch are doing some of the exact same things I'm doing, just on a much higher level, because they're privy to things that I'm certainly not. But you got to be mindful of what the Guardians do well, and you also have to be mindful of the advantages that the Tigers have against the Guardians. Broder, do you see this series as one where the Tigers could win?
Yeah, I 100% do. 100%. And I'm going to use a comment Eric Allen made 10, 15 minutes ago. He said the Tigers have been playing playoff baseball for the past 2 months. Of course they can keep it up because they've been in playoff mode for quite a while now.
August 10th.
You look at the roster without any context, you might say they're the worst team in the playoffs or something. Their payroll is $18.8 million for this 26-man roster. For the last 2 months, they've been the best team in baseball. They are the best team in baseball right now. Better than the Yankees, better than the Guardians, better than the Dodgers, better than the Padres, the Mets, the Brewers, the Royals. They've been playing better than all of them. So, yeah, they have the best pitcher. Was one of you, is it you who brought it up? They're going to have the best pitcher and the best manager.
Yes.
In every series.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Spenny brought that up. But
Spenny brought that up.
He's right.
Yeah. Spenny's right. That's what they're going to do. This is a good matchup with Steven Vogt, but they got Tarek Skubal, and they got AJ Hinch, and they got a team that believes that they're the best team in baseball.
Yep. And in a longer series, I wanted to ask, you got potentially Skubal twice in a series.
Yeah.
That's what I want to. Is that part of the formula? You were talking about the formula. Would you guys pitch Skubal Saturday, game 1 on 4 days rest?
Yep. Game 1, Skubal, that's a non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Non-negotiable.
I would, just because they're really, it's just Skubal in bullpen days. And I will say this though, getting that win on Wednesday means that you have all the possibilities available at your disposal, because you don't even necessarily have to worry about wearing out the bullpen, especially in these DS series in which there's a day of rest in between games. I guess in theory you could do anything, but I want Skubal going twice. This is where you don't worry about anything but just winning the damn series. And one other thing on the Tigers before I pass it along. I mentioned that when it came to them beating the Astros, that Riley Green and Kerry Carpenter didn't even hit that well. Although both of them got in on the fun to some degree, they weren't really the heroes of the series. Their contributions can almost be lost to history in some ways. Do you think that's going to happen 2 series in a row?
No.
I don't. I think that Riley Green and Kerry Carpenter both tagged Tanner Bybee in game 1. I'm not saying they're both going to hit a home run, but they're both going to make some hard contact in their first couple of at-bats, and they're both going to get a hit early because you can't keep those guys down for too long.
No, you can't at all. And you know what, chat family, JB, if we could put a poll in the chat just asking if they're stoked or scared. Who do they believe is winning this next series? Don't let me down, Detroit.
You already know what the answer is.
Yeah, but Ski Mask Boy in the chat, he says Guardians are done in 3.
Oh,
wow!
Call your shot. Why don't you?
That's aggressive, man. Call your shot. I am confident in these Detroit Tigers, though. I really am. And the way that we got is it Flangelo or Flanelangelo? Flangelo and Da Vinci Broder have done a great job at really painting how the Tigers can get this done from a baseball perspective, as well as not missing out on the perspective of this. This Tigers team has been hot, doing it their way. And winning in the playoffs right now, getting to the LDS, they did it their way. It didn't look any different. It was Tigers baseball. Now, this new identity, whatever the new identity is, this is now Tigers baseball.
And they did it, they did it their way. And honestly, I'm not saying that the Astros would have been a walk in the park either, but if I'm Cleveland, I am shaking in my boots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You don't want to see this team.
All of the pressure in the world is on Cleveland. They're another franchise. I think they have the longest World Series drought in terms of teams that have won one. They haven't won one since the 40s. They've been a staple in the playoffs over the last 10, 15 years or so, and even in the 2000s too, and in the 90s. And they haven't been able to cash one in. And this is a year where I don't think they're as talented as some of the previous Guardians teams, but on paper, they should still win this series. Although, I will say this, are we sure about that? Do they have a great bullpen? Yes, they do. Would I take if I'm Cleveland, I'm thinking of our bullpen against the Tigers lineup, that's advantage Cleveland. If I'm Cleveland, I'm thinking that. If I'm Cleveland, I'm like, we have the best positional player in the series. And they do. Jose Ramirez is the best positional player in the series, and he murders the Tigers. However, they don't have Skubal. I think when it comes to the depth in the lineup, you could put the Tigers up there with Cleveland, because I mentioned a lot of guys that strike no fear in me whatsoever. And when it comes to managerial prowess, I gave Stephen Vogt a lot of flowers, which he deserves. But this is his first year as a manager. AJ Hinch has been there, done that, and pretty much every string he has pulled in the last couple of months is working, and he just knows how to play the matchups. This stretch, along with these first 2 playoff games, is just brilliance in terms of playing the matchups, and that's what he'll do again.
Yeah, and you know what? Shout out to Mitten Made in the chat. He said, shout out to the Orioles for not trading for Skubal. Enjoy your vacation.
Yeah. Pretty much.
They could really used him.
Right.
You know what's funny, though? What's really ironic? The Orioles didn't even lose because they couldn't pitch. They couldn't even hit. But that's where you got to give credit to KC as well. That's why they might be as formidable as anybody in the American League, because they've got Lugo and they've got Cole Reagans. But Baltimore, you could have helped yourself out, because if you got Skubal, if you got Corbin Burns, I mean, Skubal might have thrown a shutout in Game 2. Who knows? But you never will, because you wanted to hold on to your prospects. So.
And Trevor Rogers.
Enjoy going home. I'll just say that. Enjoy another postseason flameout, and enjoy the fact that maybe Adley Rutschman isn't as good as we thought. He sucked down the stretch. Did you see the way his numbers tanked?
Yeah.
Yikes.
And enjoy Corbin Burns possibly in a Tigers uniform.
Oh, Corbin Burns is gone.
Yes, he's out of there.
He's not resigning with the Baltimore. I mean, think about it.
Skubal, Burns, Job.
Stop it. Stop it.
Sorry. That was very unmasculine.
You stop it right now.
But who can help? Who can? Come on, give me that one. But honestly, yeah, if I'm, and I'm not saying that Corbin Burns was re-signing anyway, but he pitched his ass off in Game 1 and has nothing to show for it, because his offense gave you diddly poo. Shout out Jim Mora.
Diddly poo. Goodness, diddly poo. You know what? That's a perfect transition. Diddly.
Is it?
Now more than ever. It's critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Why? Because Swiss is the no diddly poo of insurance agency. Listen, they're going to make sure your current agency, your current insurance provider, that they're not slipping in anything extra.
Bad boys.
No Didio for this month. So, call Mark at Swiss Insurance today. That number 313-530-1698, or visit them online, SwissINS.com. Tell them Woodward Sports
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Have you ever thought about volunteering but don't know where to start? Start with the Salvation Army's Red Kettle campaign. Visit registertoring.com to sign up for shifts. You'll have an option to choose a 2-hour session at a physical Red Kettle site or participate in a virtual bell ringing shift to raise funds from the comfort of your own home. Virtual bell ringers can sign up and begin raising funds at any time. Traditional bell ringing begins on Friday, November 7 and runs through Christmas Eve, excluding Thanksgiving and Sundays. To sign up for volunteer shifts, visit registertoring.com.
And when you're out there, you might want to rep some Woodward Sports merch as well, too, while you're helping save some money and helping Salvation Army out as well, too. Head over to woodwardsports.com, click on that shop tab. New designs are dropping every single week for you, but you know we already got the Stoke Not Scared. We got the Boodum Kids. We got the Woodward Tigers. And you know what? You might want to keep your eye out on the website as well, too, because we might be dropping some new Tigers gear as well, too. You know they moved on, and you know them Tigers won again.
Gritty
Head over to
Tigers.
woodwardsports.com, click on that shop tab. Get swagged out.
Kids swagged out because of Tigers, man. The Tigers. Wow. I still can't believe what we're talking about. Not just Tigers in the playoffs, but Tigers in the ALDS, so much so that we're supposed to be talking football. We're supposed to be king, but we got to just give a little bit more time to these Detroit Tigers. What up, though, Mr. Matthew? But I know you had just a little bit more to say, and whenever there's anything baseball, I want to hear about it from you.
Oh, yeah, I just had one more comment before we moved on, because I was thinking, like, it's too bad that we didn't have Jack Flaherty in that series. And I think that's all I want to say. Like, I was told.
All right, get your shit off, bro.
That this team needed Jack Flaherty to do anything in the playoffs.
Right.
This is all fun and everything. We're on this amazing stretch in August and September, and the one loss, it was an 8-1 loss to, I forget what team it was, you know. People start running their stupid-ass Twitter fingers. Stupid-ass Twitter fingers. Like, I'm just saying, denial is a river in Egypt. We need Jack Flaherty.
Right.
I was told.
Who said that on their Twitter feed?
I was told they sold at the deadline. I won't even go F. I've made up with Maz. I don't mean to go at the deadline. They didn't need Jack Flaherty. They're the best pitching staff in baseball. I wanted to end with that. We're in the ALDS without Jack Flaherty.
Who talked about denial being a river in Egypt or whatever when it comes to Jack Flaherty? Does his name rhyme with Fark? Dying?
You're silly.
Oh my God!
I hate when people hedge both sides. All right, if the Tigers make it, now you got something that you can throw and dunk on people, which is complete BS. And if they don't make it, you can do the reverse. Like, accept what this team is. Accept what this team is, and show some feel for the game of baseball. It's not bandwagon fans or bandwagon host. It's show some feel for the game. To me, that's disrespectful to say shit like that when the Tigers are on one of the most historic runs. Like, show a little feel. This is a nuanced game. It's not just all cut and dry.
Yeah.
Hey,
Sorry.
Hey, Ski Mask Boy, that's a little out of pocket. Come on now. This isn't a Jack Flaherty bashing segment.
Man.
This is
Not at all.
This is a situational what was best for the Tigers and what was best for both parties, because Jack Flaherty, and not to glaze him too much, but he did save his career with the Tigers, and he is going to help the Dodgers. They needed him. We needed Trey Sweeney. We needed more in our farm system, so I think the trade was mutually beneficial. Yes. And I wish Jack Flaherty the best. I wouldn't mind him having a great postseason and then meeting the Tigers in the World Series.
All right.
But then that's when it ends.
So far, you got return on investment as well. Yes. Would you much rather have Trey Sweeney in this playoff series, or would you much rather have Javi Baez and/or Ryan Kryler?
Stop! Erase that.
Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, wait.
No mojo, no Baez.
And you're better set up for the future. You managed to go on this run, and you're better set up for the future.
Yes.
And you can just bring them back. You guys saw after they won last night, he put the little handshake emoji.
It's why when you have the chance, you trade your rental players. Yeah. Especially if you're the team like the Tigers. They got it done still.
Yep.
And the future is bright.
And you know that not just the team, but the city as well in this renaissance, it's all treating him right. For there to be the whispers that, you know what, this is a guy who actually likes his organization, likes this area, likes where things are headed, then yes, that is the perfect time to do that. the perfect time to do that. And it's not like they sent him to like the dredges of MLB. They sent him to a
Not at all.
decent situation.
Home too.
Yeah.
He's from California.
Right.
If you're Jack Flaherty, again, we're no slander on Jack Flaherty.
Not at all.
Thank you for what he did for us in the first half of the season. If you're Jack Flaherty and the rumors of, you're someone close to him said he wanted to stay and then got mad that they traded him, which is all bullshit, by the way. It's not true. If you're Jack Flaherty, you want them to make that trade. Because if you want to sign with the Tigers, you can sacrifice 2 months in California playing for the Dodgers. For the team that you want to come back and play for gets better, and there's better people around you when you're pitching next year. If you want it that bad. We don't know if he's coming back or not. He could.
Yeah, he could.
And if he does, the team will be better for his sacrifice.
Yep.
Sacrifice. Let's talk some football. Shoot.
Talk Lions, bitch.
Yeah.
It's just season right now, man. It's TLB time.
Flannel and I both I think we wished Chase was in here, like, specifically for this segment.
List.
No, man.
It's a hint.
Shout out Chase,
but
man.
This is the week, like, things are starting to take shape. Although it was still hard putting these top 10 lists together, these power rankings, the NFL, how the games have played out, starting to take shape. We're starting to see some who the pretenders and the contenders are.
Yeah, definitely. The Detroit Lions, we already know what they are. But let's get into this, man.
Flannel.
Top 10 Thursdays. Flannel.
Oh, yes.
Let's reveal your list. We'll talk about it a little bit. Go to break, and then we'll have Bro to reveal his on the other side of the break. Let's rock.
Then we'll tear them both apart.
Right.
All right, let's start with my list. The correct list, by the way. All right, I'll start from the bottom. At number 10, the San Francisco 49ers. I still think they're going to be a threat when it all is said and done. They got a nice get-right win against the 49ers and against the Patriots, and they're too talented to be kept down for this long, and they're getting healthier with Debo and Kittle being back. At number 9, the Seattle Seahawks. I was debating actually putting them out of my list. However, you have to take into account that their injuries up front, they don't appear to be long-term. Those guys are going to come back, and I still think the Seahawks could be a sneaky wild card team. At number 8, Chase.
What? They're not number 32?
They're not the worst team in the NFL. Who would have thunk it? Well, everybody except Chase. But that's why Chase irritates me sometimes, because he's got very smartest man in the room mentality a lot. Sorry you're not here to defend yourself, and I promise I'll let you later. The Commanders, Jaden Daniels has had a superb rookie season, on pace to be one of the best ever through 4 games, and the running game has just been, that offense has been absolutely dynamic, and the defense has not, they haven't been great, but when you have an offense this good, all you got to do is get a couple of key stops, and they've been able to do that. At number 7, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
It's like the reverse. They're like opposite teams, offense and defense.
Right. Look at Sam got Pittsburgh at number 7, man.
At number 7, despite Mike Tomlin's just coaching malfeasance, I'm kidding.
You're right.
I'm kidding. But no, they took an L. Their defense got a little bit, but Justin Fields actually looked pretty impressive in bringing the Steelers back in that game. The first time where the Steelers defense actually faltered a little bit. So we'll see. I think this offense could be something, especially with George Pickens. Number 6, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They keep stacking these big wins. They win at Detroit. They win at home against the Eagles. You can't ignore that. They have earned themselves a place. Number 5, Houston Texans. Looking a little dicey for them against Jacksonville, and they haven't really been that impressive this season. They haven't played up to their capability, but when they're as talented as they are, when they have the track record of last year, plus the players they added, I think they could be in the AFC Championship. They're certainly a candidate. At 4, the Buffalo Bills. They got clapped for the first time this year. I still like their talent. I think this is one where you just have to throw away the tape and say they got their ass kicked and they'll be fine, but you got to drop them a little bit when you lose 35-10. At number 3, the Detroit Lions.
Yes, baby.
What did I need to see in order to elevate them into the top 3? I needed to see that offense play a start-to-finish great game, and that is certainly what they did. And I think that's still going to be the backbone of the team, that their offense, when it's all said and done, will be top 3 in the NFL, and they showed it on Monday. Number 2, the Minnesota Vikings. They keep stacking up these impressive wins. You just can't ignore it. They beat San Francisco, they beat Houston, and now they go into Lambeau and beat the Packers. I understand that they let the Packers back in the game, and the Packers gave them a little bit of a scare, but the way that the Vikings played in the first half, the way that their offense looks with Sam Darnold, with Aaron Jones, with Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison is back, I think that they're going to be a threat in the NFC. I don't think they're going to win the division, but I do think they're going to get a wild card. And at number 1, the Kansas City Chiefs. 3 out of the last 5 Super Bowls, they're 4-0. Enough said.
Enough said with the Chiefs. Man, those Vikings over the Lions, obviously, if it's a power rankings right now, I guess it's appropriate. It still feels a little dirty, especially with where I know things are going to end this season.
They got quality wins. We can't deny that. That's just the real.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I get it. If we have to be unbiased, I get it. But I want to get into the next segment so we can reveal Broder's list, and then, like he said, we're gonna rip everything to shreds. Please. Let's go. Where we going next, Mr. Dre?
Les Stanford.
Like, what happened?
Hey, Les Stanford. All right, that little pause was on me. Les Stanford, where Spencer Raxter got his car. And what happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. The same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Look, I got to tell you guys about the watch party in the post-game show, brought to you by New Holland Brewing Company. The heavyweights get things kicked off with every Lions game at Hayes Social in Shelby Township. And then we follow things up with the post-game show hosted by Stick and Anton. And we heard you guys. You wanted to be involved. You wanted to be in an environment. You wanted to be able to interact with some of your favorite Woodward Sports personalities. Now you can. We hope to see you guys down there. Get down there. Eat, drink, have fun with the Lions fans in attendance. And if you can't, make sure to tap in with Woodward Sports, your number one digital sports network here in Detroit. All of this is brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Taller Your Local Laundry, 1800 Tequila, Sabbath Coffee, and Soroki's. It's always on deck, man. Y'all got to be there. Let's rock.
And now we got to talk about 1800 Tequila, the official tequila of Woodward Sports Lions watch parties and post-game show. Join 1800 Tequila and Woodward Sports every Lions game live at Hayes Social in Shelby Township and celebrate the wins with SMOOV 1800 Tequila, proud sponsor of your Detroit Lions. 1800 Tequila, the best taste in tequila. Drink responsibly.
What up, though, people? We are back. It is Wake Up Woodward, and we gotta hear from Mr. Broder now. Look, Flannel already revealed his top 10 power rankings, his top 10 teams, and you got the Vikings ahead of the Lions, but you also have the Commanders on the list.
Yes.
You still gave some love to the Seahawks, who are playing good, and just ran into, honestly, the Lions at the wrong time. Ben Johnson just going absolutely mad hatter, mad scientist on them. And now we got to see, because up to this point, there's been like polarizing lists between you and Broder. I'm wondering where things go this week. Mr. Matthew Broder, are you ready to whip out your list?
Oh, yeah.
Let's
oh,
rock.
yeah, whip it out. Rub it, no doubt.
Okay.
Something.
All right.
I got the Seahawks as my number 11 team, my first team off, and the 49ers. Flannel Sam and I have a pretty similar list for the first week. I have them as my next teams up. Then I have the Commanders at number 10. Like, I was trying to justify keeping them out, and I couldn't do it. They're 3-1 right now, a divisional win. Will they stay in the top 10? I don't know, but they sure are a fun story. They could definitely Here's where Chase might run into even more of an issue. They could definitely go to 4-1. We got the Browns coming up. They have a shot at going 8-2, maybe even 7-3. They got the Ravens week 6, but then they go Panthers, home versus Bears, away at the New York Giants, home versus Steelers.
Hey, but Chase, their owner was trying to tank. Chase, I've done it too. Learn to just take the L's gracefully. But go ahead.
I still have the Eagles in my top 10. They're at number 9. They're 2-2. They're doing everything they can to make it hard for me, to make me want to take them out of my top 10. But to me, their roster is so good. It might just be a Nick Sirianni problem.
Facts. They got a lot of injuries, too, now.
They do. A week 1 win over the Packers, a 1-point loss to the Falcons, an ugly win over the Saints, crushed by the Bucks. I can't figure them out, but I'm giving them one more chance. I got the Steelers at number 8. I think you had them at number 7.
Yeah.
Their defense is still elite. And their only losses to the Colts when they scored their most points of the season. We'll see if Justin Fields can keep it up. And number 7, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Horrible loss to the Broncos, but they got 3 impressive wins, including my number 2 ranked team in this power ranking. The Lions, they got the Eagles, they stomped them, and they beat the Commanders. The Commanders' only loss is to the Bucks. I got the Bills at number 6, moving down. I believe I had him at number 3 last week. Josh Allen, they got him. But their resume, now with a crushing loss to the Ravens, the resume doesn't look so impressive. They got to win over the Cardinals, the Dolphins, and the Jaguars. They still have Josh Allen, so they're still at number 6 for me. They got to win a few more games. The Ravens beating Josh Allen 35-10, back-to-back wins over the Cowboys and the Bills. That's big to me. I thought they were real. They are 2-2. But I do think they're a top 5 team, and they proved it with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson running wild like they did. I got the Houston Texans at number 4. Not the prettiest 3 wins, the Colts, the Bears, and the Jaguars, but their only loss is to the number 3 team on this power ranking, the Minnesota Vikings, and I have to accept that they're for real now. Arguably, they have the best resume right now in the NFL at 4-0. Wins over the Giants. It is what it is. But the 49ers, Texans, and the Packers with Jordan Love, it's a solid resume. I think, though, that the Detroit Lions are still the number 2 team in the NFL. I look at them as a 4-0 team. They are not 4-0, so there's that. But their one loss was to the Bucks.
And they dominated.
Yeah.
They dominated that game. They just lost it.
They should have won that game.
Yeah.
If they played the clean football, they would have won that.
Yeah, they're 3-1, but they're a 4-0 football team. So they're in that category with Kansas City and Minnesota. And I truly believe in my heart they're better than the Vikings, even right now. And I got the Chiefs at number 1. That was my week 5 power ranking.
Hey, and you know what? I want to go to. I want to ask you guys as well, just really quick, before we get into absolutely tearing it apart or things that maybe the chat might disagree with or not. Just the Detroit Lions, because you're right, they do have one loss. It was to the Buccaneers, who a lot of people are going to be high on this season. We know they just made the playoffs, and they are trending to make the playoffs this year. So we know the Lions, if they would have probably playing clean football, they win that game. But just overall, through the first quarter of the season, obviously you're feeling pretty strong about the Lions. But Flannel, if you just want to articulate a little bit more, just how strong a team you think they are, because they're playing good. There's teams like the Vikings who are at the top of this list, but you still hold the Lions in probably a different regard.
Oh yeah, I don't think the Vikings are gonna win the division. I think that when the Lions go to Minnesota, they've got a very good chance to win. And I think by the end of the year, you might see the Vikings at number 10 on my power rankings, or maybe even off of it. It's just their resume speaks for itself. The Lions are obviously better.
Yeah.
And their offense seems to have figured it out in the last game. You've got the best O-line, you've got the best running back duo, you've got maybe the defensive player of the year. The defense for the first 3 games was dominant, and in the game against the Seahawks, I think they did enough. So yeah, the Lions, they've got staying power. They're going to win the NFC North, don't get me wrong. It's just right now, the Vikings, as Broder said, they have the best resume in the NFL right now.
And they have that best resume because they just look like they're the most in sync right now. Everything is working for them. Sam Darnold and his connection with not just Jefferson, but the rest of his playmakers on that squad, and in the way that the defense is going. And that's why when you contrast it with the Detroit Lions, who, in my opinion, have played a pretty tough schedule to start the season. 3 of those 4 teams made the playoffs last year, and people were, before the Lions game, pretty high on what the Arizona Cardinals could be.
Yeah.
The Detroit Lions are 3-1 after that, man. 3-1, and they're not even playing their best right now. As with the Vikings, they're playing better than I expect. The Lions have it. They still have room to improve. And because it's with the people and the position groups that we can believe in, I know that they're going to improve.
Yeah.
So it's just like, yeah. And that's why I wanted you to be able to articulate that, because obviously power rankings are going to be based on the trends and how hot things are. But one of the trends that I know we're going to see all season is that those Lions are going to find themselves in the top 5 more times than not.
Yeah. And, of course, when I put the Vikings up high, we got my favorite person, Shad, in the chat. Being
Shad. I tried to explain it, man.
So Sam Darnold's one of your favorite players now. Here's the problem with Shad. If the Detroit Lions were literally, if you could find a way for them to play the 85 Bears, you know what Shad would say? They're putting up 35, no problem. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop it. I'll tell you what, though, and people might not like it, but it's true. If you're giving away a quarter season MVP, it would be Sam Darnold, whether you like it or not. Is he going to sustain this? I don't think so, but he's not a bum.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks make renaissances in better situations all the time. See Baker Mayfield.
No, I definitely agree. And if we got to choose between the lists, once again, I got to go with Broder's list. However, I like elements of Sam's list. Like, right now, I would put the Minnesota Vikings over the Lions. I put them at 2 and the Lions at 3, only because of the resume, like you said. Now, are they more like what we saw in the first half of the season, or are they more like what we saw in the second half of that Packers game? That's, time will tell. But I want them to low-key stay on this pace, because in 3 weeks, we're going to find out who the best team in NFC North is.
Yeah.
So I want them to stay like this. But right now, I would have the Vikings above the Lions. And to be honest, I'm getting really high on Tampa Bay, y'all. I think they deserve to be in the top 5. They just keep going out here every week. They keep dismantling your favorite team. Baker Mayfield appears like he's become a better quarterback. The defense is still dominant over there. I like what Ty Bowles is doing. I personally would probably bump the Bucs up to 5 and drop Baltimore and Buffalo down a spot. But that's the only changes I would make.
And KG, you're so right about that with Tampa Bay, because I'm kind of with you as well, too.
I'm getting high on them.
I'm getting high on them as well, too. And, Sam, you might have to change your ways, too, after tonight's game as well, because they're playing your favorite team, your other favorite team, the Atlanta Falcons. So you might need to make some decisions there as well, too. But I kind of agree with KG. I love both of your guys' lists. I'm obviously probably going to side with Broder just a little bit with the Lions being at number 2. But once again, there are elements of both of these lists that I do like and enjoy. I mean, the Ravens, they're starting to figure it out. So you give them a little bit of a bump. The Bills take a slight hit as well, too, with that loss. But other than that, I mean, I'm still putting the Commanders at the 10 as well, too. Sorry, Chase, but they just got to be in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the Bucs.
I love the apology to Chase.
See, the Bucs are gonna maybe be off my list once they take the L to Atlanta tonight.
No, okay.
You're Atlanta Falcons.
Well, they are. You know what?
Bet on the Bucs.
I did say that they could challenge for the 1 seed in the NFC, and right now it's not looking great, but it's not over. For the record, I hope that they don't. It's just, I think they're good. I think they filled a lot of holes in the offseason, and we shall see. But Ed O'Neill with the $5 super chat. I got to read this. Minnesota hasn't played a team who can stop the run. They have run for over 100 yards every game. That's the key. They are holding Sam Darnold's hand right now. But that's exactly what you want.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Sam Darnold is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL or anything like that. I'm just saying with the numbers that he's put up, with how he's been taking what the defense gives him, they've leaned on the running game. He's got Justin Jefferson. I understand that, but that all goes into it. That's the way they're going to win. You're not going to win games with Sam Darnold in a bad situation. We saw it with the Jets. We saw it with Well, actually, he was pretty decent with the Carolina Panthers at times, but we saw it with the Jets for sure.
And
No, I was just gonna say it's what kind of played into my preseason prediction that I thought that the Vikings were gonna cause a little bit of noise because I thought this is a situation that caters better to Sam Darnold than it did to Nick Mullins. And if we saw Nick Mullins be able to air it out, Sam Darnold does play cleaner football in better situations, and that's why I thought with that defense and with how Sam Darnold can play clean football and he got some weapons, they're going to make a little bit of noise.
And Minnesota has had the benefit of front-running most of the teams they've played this year. Like I said, the second half of this Green Bay game, I was watching, man. I don't know what they are built for long-term. Like, it looks great right now, but we just need to see a little bit more. But to their credit, the resume looks good. So it's hard to argue with them right now.
Yes, and before we move on, of course, Chase and Shad are back-to-back in the chat. In the chat, because of course they are. Chase puts an asterisk on, just learn to take your losses gracefully. Probably talking about about my Falcons prediction. I will say this. My Falcons prediction still looks a whole lot more possible than your Commanders prediction. I'll just say that. Both of them aren't looking great right now, but we'll see. And then Shad, 85 Bears against this Lions team would give up 43 points. And that's my point. Shad thinks the Pistons are going to win 65 games every year, thinks the Lions are going to go undefeated every year, thinks the Tigers are going to win 100 games every year, thinks the Red Wings are going to win, going to get 110 points every year. That's your stick, man. And you're never right. You're never right. Not once when it comes to that.
You know what?
What are they going to do? What are they going to do against the Cowboys? Win 56-3? Probably what you're going to say. What are they going to do at Houston?
You're right.
Are they going to win 45
No, they
to
going to
nothing?
whip that ass.
Jesus Christ, bro. And I know you got me there. I shouldn't have fallen for it, but that's what you do, Shad. And when it comes to that, you are never right. You've never been right.
Shad.
Those.
Shad.
Fucking Shad. Shout out Shad, though. I rock with Shad.
Wait, real quick before we go to break, Tammy Chin. Hey, we're thinking about you and your family. I know you're going through some stuff with your entire family, but with your husband now. And I know the chat's being super supportive. We're thinking about you up here.
Yes.
On WU and at the network at Woodward Sports.
Shout
you're
out
one of
Tammy.
the OGs. We care so much about you. Tell Dan we're thinking about him.
Definitely.
Yep.
Thank you for that, brother.
Yes.
Thank you. And, man, shout out to Dante151 as well. I see you. He tagged us in that video from earlier. It's the best look he's been able to give, and you still can't see it. But goodness, let's get into this next segment. It's been a show, but once again, thank you for taking the time to shout out Tammy and give her some well wishes to her and her family.
We're all
brother.
family here.
Yeah, definitely.
Man,
Definitely.
One of the, not that I play favorites, although it's certainly not Shad, but Tammy Chin is one of the all of our favorites in the chat. So prayers to you and your husband. And Boys and Girls Club. Join the best youth football league in Metro Detroit. The Boys and Girls Clubs of Southeastern Michigan's 3C Sports League offers youth ages 5 to 14 with 6 exciting teams to choose from in Detroit, Belleville, Highland Park, and East Point. All coaches are trained, certified, and undergo background checks. Register for football or cheer at bgcsm.org. Equipment, meals, and transportation included, all for your chance to play for a championship at Ford Field for just $175 per child. Put the youth back in youth sports with BGCSM 3C Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
To prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness, we're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
How would you like $10 of free products from Dispo Dispensary? Screenshot this image with the QR code and bring it into any Dispo location, and you'll get a free $10 to spend in store with a minimum purchase of $25. Visit Dispo Dispensary today or disposhops.com. Dispo Dispensary, your local cannabis plug.
Yeah, second best.
Listen, you want to know what the best pregame Lions party is? Every Lions home game? Join us at Detroit's very own Second Best Bar, located at 42 Watson Street for the ultimate fan experience. Enjoy some smooth Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey while catching the Woodward Sports pregame show. Only at Second Best Bar. Come get some. And we are back. What up, though, people? It is Wake Up Woodward. Shout out to Ed O'Neill with the $1.99 super chat. Dallas has the 27th ranked rushing defense. No excuses, Sam.
I'm curious why that's directed at me, but yeah, no, the Lions should run all over the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I expect them to.
Man.
The Cowgirls.
Fair enough.
They gonna whip that ass. I can't wait.
I see you in the chat, man. I think he's commenting on the video that Dante151 shared with us, and it has Dan Dickerson's call instead. People are upset with that Tigers broadcast yesterday, man, for the playoffs. But you know what? If you ever get an opportunity to just kind of pop the radio on and listen to the GOAT, Dan Dickerson, definitely do that. It'll bode much better. But you know what? I want to talk about, we got to get into this Jared Goff conversation right quick before we get into what's trending with JB Smoove. 33rd team. Shout out to the 33rd team. I think it's a good platform. Obviously, Amon-Ra St. Brown and his podcast and some of the work he does is there as well. And they're very, very kind to the Detroit Lions. But there is one person there who does some of these rankings. I've noticed this. Dan, is it Pizzuta? Is that how I believe he pronounces his name? If I get it wrong, sorry about that. But he released his Week 5 quarterback power rankings via the 33rd team. And where do you guys believe that he has? I know you guys know it, but chat family, just really quickly, where do you think Jared Goff should be ranked in this NFL? I'm gonna just ask it that way because he has Jared Goff ranked 14th, coming off of perfection, 18 of 18. Hey, have you ever seen anybody else do that, Flannel?
No.
Have you, Broder? Have you? Anybody? I haven't. I don't understand it. And I would probably be even more fired up than this if the Lions haven't gone out there and just taken their own respect. Yeah. So it's like, you know what? It's just another chip on the shoulder. Throw it into the basket. Throw it into the basket. We know that these Lions, they eat that. They eat that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and they just perform. But this type of stuff is so crazy to me, man. 14th. Am I alone here on this island, Flannel? 14th best quarterback in the league?
No, you're not alone. I'm actually trying to pull up the list right now.
I got it for you.
You've got it for me? Okay, thank you so much. All right, so
I know you have a major disagreement with number one.
I never put that guy up there.
So to me, having Patrick Mahomes at number one signifies that it's not just off of this year's performance. Because I'm the biggest Mahomes slapper you'll find. He wouldn't be number one if you're just ranking it off this season. This seems to be more all-encompassing. So if that's the case, I would this is right now. I would put Goff ahead of Aaron Rodgers for sure.
Yep.
Love for sure.
Yep.
Kyler Murray for sure.
Yep. Geno too.
And Geno Smith for sure. And Dak Prescott for sure.
He should be at least 8th on this list or 9. Yeah.
I think you can make an argument for all of the other ones above him being better right now, but I could also make an argument for Goff being above Herbert, and I love Herbert, and I think you can make an argument for Goff being above Stafford. But I'm not mad at those two being ranked. It's just the ones that I mentioned really kind of signify that at worst Goff should be 9.
It's just what criteria are they using for it? Because
engagement criteria.
Yeah, but
small market that'll get you big engagement here in Detroit, huh?
Yeah, it's not like it's outrageous or anything. I do think he should be, between 7 and 12. I tend to go, probably 8 or 9, like kind of where Flannel had him.
Yep.
But we're doing this week by week, so like it involves this season in some point. I don't know if I'm more hurt about Goff or Baker Mayfield being 17th. Like,
that's kind of wild.
What are they doing? Jordan Love, talented. He's 0-2 this season. You guys got my text in the group chat last night. So 0-2 this year. The Packers are 2-2, and he's 9-11 in his career. So are we going by this year, or are we going by the resume?
Chad is fired up right now, bro.
What are we doing?
No, honestly, it has to be all-encompassing because, like I said, Mahomes has not been the best quarterback in the NFL this year, but in terms of who's the best quarterback in the NFL, it's obviously Mahomes.
Right.
Honestly, if we're going by this year, Jaden Daniels and Baker Mayfield both have to be way higher than they are.
Fact.
But I also don't blame if you don't want to put a rookie up too high or even Baker Mayfield based on some of his past failings, although I still think he's too low. That's why Darnold, if we're going off this year, he can't be 19. But Darnold at 19, even with what he's done this year, that doesn't necessarily make me mad. So I think it has to be all-encompassing based on like resume, talent, this year, all of it.
So Geno Smith at 9 over Jared Goff?
No, that's wrong.
Right?
Yeah.
Kyler Murray, good quarterback.
That's wrong.
At 10 over Jared Goff?
It's ridiculous. Aaron Rodgers had one good game this year.
4 years ago was the last time his ass was good.
Yeah,
and I know quarterback wins aren't a stat. I don't want to play that card, but all of this talent in the 13 above Goff's 3-1 right now. Herbert's 2-2. Burrows is 1-3. Geno Smith is 3-1. Kyler Murray 1-3. Jordan Love 0-2. Brock Purdy 2-2. Aaron Rodgers 2-2. Like, if they're that much better than Jared Goff, lead your teams to a win. Jesus.
Facts.
Baker Mayfield's 3-1. I would put Baker Mayfield higher than Aaron Rodgers, higher than Geno Smith, higher than Jordan Love this year. I don't know if I would put him high. But, like, what? Just give me the criteria, people. Jared Goff isn't a top 5 quarterback, but he deserves to be ahead of some of these people based on resume or based on this year. And he hasn't even had that great of a year.
They listen, man. Maybe they like our guy out here, the Detroit versus everybody brand. They just want to make sure it stays afloat. Obviously.
Piss off Amon-Ra St. Brown. Don't do that, 3013.
You know what?
Do that.
Think about it. He wakes up, he's going to post a podcast, and he sees that. Goodness gracious.
The only thing I will say about the whole wins thing is when it comes to Joe Burrow, you kind of sounded like Chris Canty after the Commanders game, where he's like, Joe Burrow didn't do enough. The defense gave up 38 points. And the same with Geno Smith. Geno Smith is the last person to blame for the Seahawks loss to the Lions, and we saw it. And I get what you're saying, which is why when it's all encompassing, I don't put wins as my number one criteria, but it's certainly like bad performances.
It plays a factor.
Bad performances and losses really is what I think should bring you down, to me.
Phil said Donald at 19. That is nuts.
We're going by this year, he should be top 3 or 4.
Yeah. And Steve O'Baby. And just before we get to the next segment, Steve O'Baby said, Kool-Aid, Jared Goff has to do it consistently. One game I understand, but there are other quarterbacks who are on teams that are undefeated. Are you telling me that you agree with this list, Steve O'Baby?
Yeah. Steve O'Baby is a known
he probably does.
SOL type guy.
Okay, because I was about to say, he tags me specifically
he's not a golf fan.
Knowing I'm going to be like, bro, what the F? And then I read it on air. Is this my shot?
It might be. It might be.
Because I wanted to blow up, but I was like, you know what? Let's just no,
Steve-O ain't the worst, but he has SOL mentality bad. Like he's
been scarred.
He's been out there like saying, the Lions, why we putting them up here too quick and all this stuff like that. He's not a golf fan either, so it is what it is. But golf should at least be top 10. Period. Point blank.
Yeah.
You put him anywhere 7 through 13, I'm not arguing or I'm not feeling that type of way. But just show the man some respect. And I know I like Steve O'Baby. That's my my dog. Cool. We haven't gotten into it over golf, but he's a little sarcasm in the chat right now.
It's funny.
Golf
he's a known golf hater though. He does not like golf.
Week by week, he's not going to put up the same numbers like that every week. Like that's where I push back and like the dude has a sample size across 8 seasons of being consistent of coming back after a bad performance. Like.
He's played more winning football than losing football. I promise you.
Yeah.
Bad performances at the beginning there. He's proven those are outliers. The Chicago Bears game at Soldier Field last year, ugly. Outlier.
Hey, I know we got to get into what's trending.
I know.
You was preaching. Ashton the trainer, K Cunningham's trainer and cousin.
Shout out.
He's going crazy right now. X. Everything
Oh.
Detroit. We believe Detroit sports is back.
Do you believe?
I'm sorry, like they keep popping up on the screen, and I'm like wanting to like yell these things out loud because I'm like, somebody else sees it. Somebody else sees it. And I know that those guys, they want nothing more than to make sure these Pistons can really make sure that October in the D is a great time.
Yeah.
Definitely, man. Shout out to you, Ashton the trainer, man. And keep showing that Detroit love and putting on, even when the cameras aren't rolling. Y'all are always moving, doing good. But let's get into this next segment because I know it's the one that a lot of people love. Hey, what's trending is on the way?
Oh, yeah. And but first, I got to tell you guys about some Soroki's crispy chicken and pizza. If you watched the watch party, you know they had the Soroki's flowing.
Fucking good.
Let's see, KG said it for me. Like even the biscuits.
Got leftovers today.
Got leftovers?
Soroki's leftover. I don't play, bro.
The honey butter.
I'm about this Soroki's life, bro. Soroki sauce in there too. I ain't playing.
They didn't even save me some. But look, just in time for football season, Soroki's is debuting their fresh signature flavored wings. Grab your friends, order a New York style pizza, and try one of these fresh wings for game day this weekend. Try one of their 7 different flavors. You can always check them out online and even order online at Sorokis.com.
To prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness, we're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi experts Woodward Sports. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White & Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
And we are back. Hey, shout out to Les Stanford. I like that new back wall.
Yeah.
Shout out to them, man.
Nice.
Hey, but we are back. It is Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys for kicking off today with the WUW Crew. And it's been a great show. It's been another victory show. Talking about our Detroit Tigers heading to the ALDS. The Detroit Lions picking up that big dub against the Seahawks. And we get to have really a pretty comfortable bye week. Pistons and Red Wings are getting going right now with training camp and preseason. And I was giving all that love to my guy Ashton. Shout out to Ashton, the trainer. He's all in on Detroit sports. But college-wise, I forgot where his ties lie. And as soon as I gave him all that love, we went to break. And he puts, yeah, it's only winners around here. Hashtag go Buckeyes.
Whoa.
No.
Come on, dog.
Man.
Come on, dog.
Goodness. Well, you know what,
I ain't trying to
man?
hear that shit right now.
But Kay Cunningham, though, he looked like he's bulked up. They showed some clips from the practice. So if I know Ashton the trainer is training him. So shout out to you. I'll give you a pass, man. I'll give you a pass.
Yeah.
A little one though. Still go blue. But let's kick this thing off, man. Let's get things sparking word to Dispo. JB Smooth.
Let's do it.
And now it's time for the most electrifying segment on the internet. Bum, bum, bum. It's What's Trending with JB. Live on Wake Up Woodward.
The incomparable JB Smooth.
Let's rock.
What's up, fellas? What's going on?
What up, though, my guy?
Pebbles.
Hey, now, first, I want to start off with what's trending a little bit different today, just because I always believe in a daily, you cannot have enough love and positivity be tossed out to everyone around. And I want to take you guys back to Monday Night Football with the Detroit Lions and Seattle Seahawks. A devoted Seahawks fan put out this on Instagram to a one Miss Peyton Morris. She goes to state that, when you're a Seahawks fan, but the guy from high school that backed you up against a bully is on the Lions team. So she is a devoted Lions fan to one Coyote Awasika, who was on that play that you see up here right here with David Montgomery reaching across the goal lines. She said back in junior high and high school. He was a star football player on the team, and that, you know, he didn't have to be nice to her, but he did. He showed compassion and love when some bullies that were going on in her school, he just stepped in and kind of just diffused the situation. So shout out to one Coyote Awasika for being a hero to this young lady, Miss Peyton Morris.
That's
big
cool.
shout
That's
out.
amazing.
That's a great story.
Big shout out, man.
Thank you for sharing that, JB.
Thank you, Jay.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you guys knew about it or
No.
known about it. This just came to my attention yesterday, but once again, shout out to you for just being a hero and just being a good person that, you know,
Yeah.
we just need to see a lot more of nowadays.
And I thought Coyote played well in that game, man. It was nice for him to step up in the presence of, you know, Frank Radden now being down. So,
Yep, he did.
shout out Coyote.
That's
Shout out.
dope, man. That's a great story. That's why we need what's trending in our lives.
Yep.
I appreciate that. Shout out to you once again, Coyote, and you as well, Peyton Morris, for sharing your story. So, with that being said, let's get into some little bit of a funny things going on. Kool-Aid, I got one for you, man.
Let's go.
This is dad mode on 1000.
This is something I would do for sure.
Oh my God.
Kool-Aid, do not try this at home.
Oh,
Please do not do
man.
this.
Sweetie, I won't do this at home at all.
Yeah, your wife would lose it.
We're gonna have fun. I ain't even gonna lie. Baby Kool-Aid would love this too.
It's a dad hack. Look at
Yeah,
that.
I love
It is.
I absolutely love it, man. It's like my man who was playing baseball with his kid, but he had it on a fishing rod, just hanging there, the ball. Kid would hit it, and he would just reel it back
Reel it
in
back
from his
in,
seat.
see?
And then he would get the beer on the side. Hey, he got to figure it out. Dad life. Let's rock. Dad gang.
See, look, dad life. You can't go wrong with that. And you know what? Uncle was in the gym the other day, and you know what? He still has hops. I don't know if you guys know about it, but he still's got hops.
Oh, snap. Let me see this.
Oh, shit. Off the chair.
This uncle have
God
life anymore.
Damn. Come on, dog.
Goodness.
Oh.
What was he trying to... God.
Well, he was trying to dunk, so
Move.
like,
Do something.
You had the chair too, Come on. Oh, my God.
It's the approach for me. Like, what? No momentum? No anything?
Shit.
I don't get it.
Could you throw it down back in your day? Or
Yes.
can you still?
I can still grab the rim. If I get in training mode, I can get back to dunk.
Yeah. Was it like
Listen to this guy over here.
when I get
like
back
an
in
easy
training
dunk
mode.
without a running start? Could you win between the legs?
Without a running start, two hands. If it was a running start, that's the only way I could dunk off one
You
foot.
could get up. You could get up.
You go straight up. You got a vertical?
Yeah.
Okay.
I could get, you know what?
I believe it.
Woodward game time. We're going to have to get something going.
Yeah, man.
I think you got to show
yeah.
us. I don't know if we believe you just yet, man.
I'm
You got to show
going to
us.
have to show y'all some of the clippings.
I
man.
believe
This
the
is-
shooting, but you just going straight up off vert like that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
You got it.
Shout out to Lindsey Hunter, Basketball Planet, and shout out to EJ King, my trainers before I went to college. Those guys got me right.
Okay.
In that summer, they had me doing things I didn't even know I could do, bro. And when we got to college, I kind of fit in. I remember going there for the tryouts. I wasn't making the cut, bro.
Yeah.
At all. Like the physicality, the athleticism, and the speed. I was like, bro, but I was just hitting for like 30 a game. I played Romulus, played Crawford and Harris, played Drew.
Yeah.
And then got to D2, where I'm telling you, there's so much competition
No,
out there.
absolutely.
Came back, and they told me what to work on. Worked on it over the summer. Came back and fared much better. Much better. But, yeah, I could put it down, man. Now y'all about to make me get back in shit.
Oh, okay. Well, Kool-Aid, I'll
Dunk on my
challenge
kids, bro.
I'll challenge you on this one. You say you can put it down, but is this one of the sickest one-on-one plays you ever seen?
Goodness.
Can you throw down like that?
Goodness.
Well, that rim is low as hell, first of all. That's like 8 feet, 7
But
feet.
that's more the reason that don't let it happen to you.
Yeah, that's
Do
crazy.
something, bro. Do something.
That's nuts.
At least make a business decision because, like KG just said, that's nuts on your back.
Bro,
On your back, yeah.
Yeah.
the crazy part is you think he bounces it through his legs. He doesn't. He bounces it right in front of him and still gets the backboard and the raise up. That's crazy.
Oh,
That's
man,
crazy.
dog.
Look at it. Oh.
Just block the ball.
Yeah, sit it. Yeah, just my man's got to sit down, man.
That reminds me of a Bill Burr skit, just in that one clip of white dudes just making a business decision. Just
Yeah,
Stop-
don't even go
stop
for the block.
trying.
Don't go for the block.
Like, yeah.
Don't even do it. It will not end well for you. I'm telling you,
crazy.
it will not end well. And finally, I will end what's trending with this. Broder, this has to be one of the luckiest seats you can ever have in a ballpark. And I don't even know how this is possible that this happened not once, not twice, but 3 times.
Go to work, left-hander.
One. Is he in Oakland? Of course. There's no one at the game.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
My man playing outfield in the stands.
Catches 2 foul balls.
One more.
3.
Damn.
Oh my
See,
goodness.
that is pretty cool, though.
He gonna hurt his damn self.
In the same spot. How is this even possible?
I don't know, man. It reminded me of freaking the Astros infielders for like the first 3 or 4 innings. They were catching everything.
My man play outfield somewhere too in somebody's semi-pro little league or something. He out there reaching out. You see him?
He's a lefty.
Yeah,
Reaching
man.
out with his right hand?
Yeah.
Lefty.
That reminded me of when that kicker won all that money from us and they didn't know he played soccer
Oh.
before they had the field goal
Oh,
competition.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Man, I think
Goodness.
that's the most exciting thing to happen for the A's this year.
You're right, for real.
Hey, you know what? Shout out Brett Rooker. He had himself a hell of a season. I'm playing, but it's bad.
Yeah.
They
Shout
lost
out
their damn
Oakland.
franchise.
It's a damn shame what's happened to the city of Oakland sports-wise.
It's a damn shame.
And JB, I think the chances of that happening, the percentage is probably lower than Jared Goff completing all 18 of those passes.
Ooh.
Which I do think was kind of a joke, but I do think it was like a 0.002% chance that like all 18 of those passes were completed. Shout out.
Shots fired.
Perfect.
Shots fired there. But that's it for what's trending, you guys. Let's hop into some mailbag.
Hey, it was a great What's Trending as always, JB Smooth. Man, some great stuff in there today. Thank you, brother.
Oh, no problem.
Hey, let's rock. You guys already know. Get those mailbag questions in. Flannel got a message for you from Feldman. And then we're going to get into that Feldman mailbag segment.
Absolutely. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit FeldmanAuto.com to find the location nearest you. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
Hey, Wake Up Woodward mailbag segment presented by Feldman Automotive Group. And I need you guys to go ahead and use that hashtag Feldman mailbag if you can. Broder is monitoring the chat for the best ones. So let's rock.
Skirt. Jordan Leinhardt, Feldman mailbag. Tigers, Lions, and Red Wings all went from being the laughing stock to the feared so fast. Built within even. Isn't that just incredible? Now we just need the Pistons to hop on board. So a statement and a question, feel free to respond.
It is incredible.
The only thing I'll push back on, are the Red Wings the feared yet? They're up and
no,
coming.
they on the way.
They're up and coming. But,
They're up and coming.
But that's other than that, good comment.
I think it's even more impressive that they've done it through youth. Like every team has embraced the youth movement, good, bad, or indifferent, and now we're starting to see the results of some of that so far. Yep. Of course, like you said, the Red Wings still working their way in, but their farm system is really good down there too. They should be a winner within the next year or so. It's bright. The future is bright for Detroit sports, man. It really is.
And if they don't in the next 4 years, Sean and Neil will still say that the Iser plan is working just fine.
And in regard to the Pistons, I do believe nucleus-wise, and we covered it on the Pistons, Woodward Pistons segment yesterday, that they do have the right nucleus. But right now, this is all about show me.
Yeah.
We've heard all of this rhetoric before, but at least in terms of the moves they're making to bring in the right basketball minds amongst the coaches, the right coach that wants to be here,
right,
getting the right vets for the players, and seeing that the young players, like you said, the youth movement, they're taking the right steps forward. I do believe that this regime will get it done for the Pistons. We'll have all 4 teams rocking soon.
All right.
Let me piggyback off that question real quick. Is it safe to say, at least like at this moment, you could consider the Tigers feared?
Yes.
Like the Guardians fear the Tigers right now. They don't want any piece of them.
You have to.
Nobody.
Best team in baseball the last couple of years. You have to.
Nobody wants to play the Tigers. Nobody. Like I said, since August 10th, they have been the best team in baseball, doing it the same way they've been doing it.
Yep. And this is the thing. It's the same way they've been doing it, but A.J. Hinch still has all of these different decks, these cards in the deck that he can shuffle around. So how do you prepare for it? You know what I mean? Like, how do you prepare for what A.J. Hinch is going to do? That second game with the bullpen was just like, this is crazy.
Just imagine if the Tigers end Cleveland's season. Oh my God! Cleveland would be on fire at that point.
No,
they
would.
tormented the Tigers for so many years, and now the Tigers come back when they're good and end the Guardians season. A Guardians team that consistently underachieves in the playoffs, man.
Hey, the big payback.
It's like porn to me.
Yeah.
Listen to that very smart, handsome man.
I was going to say, I don't think you could say it better yourself, Flannel Sam.
Yes.
Oh, man.
All right, here we go. Mason Leach, Feldman mailbag. Will there be any Michigan talk tomorrow? Mason Leach, there will be a little bit. We're going to include some, I think, in
we have to?
JB's betting segment. But no, I'm reading this question because, as we know, tomorrow's my last day on Wake Up Woodward.
Oh, don't remind me.
I want to talk Tigers and I want to talk Lions. And I also want your idea, are there any segments you want to see? You got part of the show planned out already. Do we want a Would You Rather from KG? Do we want... there's a big mock at 9 o'clock in there. I put that in the rundown.
A Broder special.
Chin music, peaks and cheeks. What do you guys want to see tomorrow? It'll probably be Tigers and Lions heavy, / maybe whatever KG puts in a segment, if that's what we end up doing. So let me know.
Shout out that little brown jug. I don't care how you get it.
I love jugs. Brando Smalls, Feldman mailbag. In the second round, will Tigers add anyone to the pitching staff? Like Montero for Job or Maeda?
No.
No, I keep Maeda out. Maeda, stay out.
I actually do think that I've got to learn the actual rules. Can they add?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That's a good
I
question.
think they can.
I think they probably can too. We'll figure it out for tomorrow.
They can expand their playoff roster, yes.
If they can, and even if they can't, I think their roster will be heavier pitching than hitting. In a 3-game series, you want as many hitters. So we'll see. AJ Hinch will pull the right strings. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Byer, Feldman mailbag. Do we think fans, especially the young fans, will appreciate what the Tigers have done without a World Series win? Will we look back on this season, this run?
The young fans may not appreciate it only from the sole fact that they didn't suffer through all the losing like we did. They just popped up and, the Tigers, they made, the divisional series. But we've suffered, since that 2014 season, it has been desolate in this town as far as baseball goes. So the fact that they even got to this point with the way this season went and just how they're constructed currently, it's absolutely amazing to me. But the younger fan, maybe not so much.
Yeah, I'm hoping that the younger fans, that they appreciate this because of how long really a lot of the teams have been down. All of the teams for at least a decade. So it's I'm hoping that they appreciate what's going on, and I think that the ones that do appreciate, that's why it's on us to continue to show out, especially when that game comes to Detroit. Continue to show out. Continue to go out and be in the streets in downtown Detroit, fill the bars, and have good fun and root on these Detroit Tigers, because Detroit has been looking good, man, and these Tigers are giving us this great opportunity to really have this ALDS game feel like a holiday.
See, I think that it depends. The people who have been with this team the whole year, who've been lifelong fans, will appreciate this. The casuals that parachute in come playoff time, I think they're going to become some of my least favorite people on the planet. They already kind of have to some extent. But you know what? Still root for the team, but treat this as it is. Nobody, let's just say, for example, Riley Green didn't have his best series. He's not a playoff choker.
Yeah. He's
had 2 games, 9 at-bats, and he even got a hit in one game and a walk in the other. I don't want to hear any of that. But
fake all-star.
You know what? Let's give Jake Rogers the Acuna deal and cut Riley Green, right?
Sounds good to me. Yeah. Rake Rogers, baby. Let's get it.
And, you know what? Shout out. I'm just kidding. Jake Rogers had himself a hell of a series. But that's my point. All are welcome. Just don't be out of pocket.
You know what? I don't think the younger fans will truly appreciate it. But then again, that falls back on all of us needing to reiterate and just tell them, hey, you got to remember the struggles that not only this team but this city had with all these sports teams as well too. Don't forget the history that comes along with these teams and the actual good moments that we got to experience. So if we keep kind of putting that in the youth's head of hey, you don't know the struggles that we used to go through, now you're just reaping the rewards. Matt Patricia, I didn't think we forgot about that one, but yeah, now we're reaping the rewards of the struggles that we used to have. Just don't let them forget the history that all these teams have had.
That's right.
I'll do it.
That'll do it.
That'll do it.
Hey, let's get that pass going, man. Hey, I gave you the like that Lonzo Ball full court. Hope it doesn't get picked off pass. Hey, it's been a show. It's been Wake Up Woodward. And we appreciate you, chat family, for kicking off the day with the WUW Crew. If you haven't gotten an opportunity to, go on ahead and smash that like button, satisfy it, and treat it right. But we got to break this thing down. Shout out to intern Chase and that dude Justin as well. Hey, we got the vet of the squad up here. Flannel Sam, it's your boy Brandon, aka Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter and writer for the network. We got this elite, wonderful, magnificent, stupendous,
keep going,
great, better than good, better than the rest,
not
better
enough
than everybody else out there, man. These guys, I'm talking about the stuff that y'all know. Do I really gotta get them fired up even more?
Yeah, a little bit more.
I can get them a little bit more fired up, man. Listen, what these guys do, this company needs.
Woo!
That's what I'm talking about, man. What these guys do, Detroit needs.
Yeah, management.
Especially with Detroit sports on the rise. Especially with Detroit sports on the rise. Let's go, man. Over here in this sound booth, we got Detroit's #1 draft pick. That is KG, a.k.a. Black Hollywood.
Hey, enough said. Hey, shout out to the team. Shout out to the chat. Everybody in chat. Love y'all, man. Y'all gonna see me another couple times today, but let's keep this shit rolling. Tigers and ALDS. Let's go.
Baby.
Let's go.
Woodward Sports MVP in the TD booth. That is JB Smooth.
Tigers won again.
Hey, the Tigers won again.
Tigers won again.
Yo, we are about to fire up Comerica Park. I can't
Wednesday
wait for this.
gonna be crazy.
Wednesday is going to be wild. Stay tapped in with us all week. I guarantee you are going to love all the content that we put out. Once again, shout out to you, chat family. Shout out to everyone on the show. My man Matt Broder as well, too.
Skirt. Y'all already know what it is. To the man, the legend, proved himself. Hey, and he has so much more ahead of him. The guy that's deserving of all of the love.
Legend.
That is one Matthew. I want to say Broder, but really it's GOAT dash ER.
Matt Bro 21.
Let's go, man. What up, though, Broder?
I can't wait. Actually, tomorrow's it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet.
Yeah.
But I'm so excited for this run that the Tigers have been on. I'm so excited to have been here to be able to cover the Lions last year. Detroit sports, man, they're on the rise, whether I'm in this seat or not. I encourage everybody to continue to support Woodward Sports. There are so many good people here. So many good people. Let's keep this momentum in Detroit going. Let's have a great show tomorrow, too. Let's do it.
Oh, we gonna do that.
A great show. Great words by Broder and chat as always, man. I'm hoping you guys have a great day. Thank you for allowing our day to get off to a good start, and I'm hoping that we did the same for you guys. Go Tigers, go Lions, go Red Wings, and you know what? Go Pistons, man. We're Detroit sports fans. Let's lock in. Have a great day, you guys. Wake up, Woodward. Let's go.